9 smart ways to help slow employees work faster. As a business owner, you want all staff members to give their best while in the office so the company can reach its goals. But some employees may be, say, a bit lethargic. They take days to finish work that should take hours, constantly hang out at the cafeteria, or check social media during office hours. Use these 9 tips to figure out what's going on and to spur sluggish personnel to higher quality work and better speed. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Q. I'm very happy to have you today. I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous. If you're doing as marvelous as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka. Let's roll. So before I get into the very important topic of workplace productivity and workplace motivation, let me quickly give a shout out to some of the fans who inspired us to consider this topic. I'm thinking about Abby Green and Roseville Park, Delaware, Leon Andrew, Blaze, Delaware, and Isla Gray in Milford, Delaware. Thank you so much, Isla, Leon, and Abby, for your contribution, your support, your loyalty. We really appreciate that. Now, 9 smart ways to help slow employees work faster. Number 1. Review the employee's job description and education/skill level. It's very important. Why do you have to do that? You want to figure out if there is a match. Is there a match between the job description, what the employee is currently doing, and his or her education and skill level? If there is a mismatch, well, here you go. You have a potential solution to the problem you're having, why the employee is slow, right? If he or she is doing work that he or she is not qualified for, then of course you're going to have a learning curve to consider here. Another question you want to ask is, has the employee received training lately? If there is whether there is a gap or not, we live in a world that's constantly changing. So if an employee was, say, 2 or 3 years ago when he or she was hired, if the employee was qualified after 3 years, unless they are able to upgrade their knowledge level, there might be some kind of learning curve, right? The idea here is to close that curve, is to make the curve as normal as possible. So, you want to ask yourself, has the employee received training lately? Another question is, how does the employee compare to coworkers, right? Is the employee very, very low? In other words, when you take the average performance at your company and you want to compare that average performance to your employee, what's the result here? Okay. And another question that's very important when reviewing the employee's job description and education level is the job content. And the key question here is, has the job content changed lately? Right? So of course, if you hire someone originally and he or she was very good at the job, and you've changed the job content because of business needs or an acquisition or a merger, whatever it is, if there is a change, then of course you have to allow the person to have time to transition to their new role, right? So those are things you want to think about. Number 2, the second smart way to help slow employees work faster. Figure out why the employee is slow. And sometimes you might be surprised. It's very important to ask the question. Simply ask the question. Ask him or her that, listen, lately I've noticed that, your speed is not up to par, and I just want to know what's slowing you down. Now, the employee might feel confused, might be a little on defense, but have a clear conversation. Have a conversation with your staff member, right? And the thing here is that sometimes maybe the employee is just detail oriented. So he or she is spending a lot of time on details that maybe are not important in the overall scheme of things, right? And the thing here is that, and this is good, right? But sometimes you might be very surprised that the employee himself or herself might be aware that their performance is subpar and will gladly respond to you, will feel relieved that you've asked the question, right? So asking the question to the employee directly can help you craft a solution in determining the underlying cause. craft a solution in determining how to fix the problem. Number 3, you want to reshuffle staff positions if needed, or give the proper training. If you remember earlier, I was asking you in the very first point, has the job content changed lately, right? So if you believe that an employee ages slow in a particular role, think about reshuffling staff positions. Think about bringing somebody else in that position, and think about moving that slow employee, quote unquote, that slow employee into another role, right? So either you do that, or you give that employee the training needed to boost his or her performance, right? So reassigning internal jobs is very important. And if you know the employee's job description, if you know the employee education and skill level, you can give the right job to that employee, right? You can increase training opportunities. And one thing that's very key, while you're considering all these factors and all these solutions, make sure you involve HR in the process from the get-go. You want your talent management team to identify and fix, if necessary, all the gaps, all the knowledge gaps, all the productivity gaps within the company. This is very important for 3 reasons. Number 1, when they're looking for new hires, when they're looking for new applicants, they will know what's already here, what's already available in terms of talent within the company, and they will look for the perfect candidate to complement what's already existing. Number 2, when it comes to performance evaluation, if you involve HR in the process, the performance evaluation will be smoother at the end of the year, or the end of the quarter, or 6 months, however often you do your performance evaluation. The third thing is that having HR being also part of the training process can help determine what kind of training the slow, quote unquote, the slow employee needs, either in-house or externally. All right, I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm very happy to have you around, and if you love the content's clarity and quality so far, please consider subscribing to our channel and turn on the notification bell so you are aware, you are informed whenever we drop a new mail. All right, a new show, not a new mail, a new show. And we do this every single day, by the way. Every single day we release new shows. Also, you want to share and like and comment below, so that if you want to share your experience. Have you been slow in the past? Do you currently work with a slow employee? Again, we're putting slow here in brackets because everybody's motivated. Everybody has some kind of a motivation going on. It's all about determining the right match between the job and the person's skill set and interests, right? And I want to quickly give a shout out to Maya Gardner in Schultz, Nevada, Louis Marsh in Round Mountain, Nevada, and Alex Webb in Ferdley, in Nevada. So we have Alex, Louis, and Maya in the beautiful state of Nevada. We really love you. We appreciate your help. We appreciate your loyalty. Thank you so much. Number 4. Again, we're here talking about 9 smart ways to help slow employees work faster. Number 4, seek feedback from the whole team. It's very important that you're trying to get information from the whole team, not just from one particular employee, but the whole team. And the best way to do this is to set up an anonymous suggestion box. People can really just drop their feedback anonymously. They don't have to worry about retaliation or some kind of identification. No, right? You can do that way. Or you can do things openly. You can have a team meeting to find ways to improve overall productivity, right? So you're trying to avoid talking about the person specifically, but just sort of put the conversation overall in a broader conversation about productivity. Another way you can do this also is to ask the employees' direct co-workers and boss, right? So if you are a small business owner and that employee has a boss or a direct manager or co-workers, you want to ask them if they have noticed something lately, if they might be a good source of intel to sort of let you know why that particular employee is a little slow. Number 5, you want to team up with the employee. All right. The last thing you want is to back your, to really to have an antagonistic approach with the employee, right? Because you don't want your staff member to go on defense if he or she feels backed into a corner. You don't want that. You want cooperation. You want power. You want empowerment, right? You want collaboration. So cooperation, collaboration. So you can team up with the employee, right? So after asking the question, after trying to figure out what's going on in their lives or whatever, trying to ask the employee what will make them happy, right? What will make them happy? And this is what I will talk about in the next section, is find out what the employee likes to do. So for you to team up with them, if you have a collaborative approach, if you have a way to say, you know what, we are in this together. We're going to solve this together. We're not here to fire you. We're not here to cripple your career. We're here to help you, and so that you in return can help the company. So find out what the employees like to do. And this is a very simple question to ask. You ask the employee, what do you want to do at this point? Do you want to get more training? Do you want to be moved to another department? You want to, again, as I said earlier, everybody's motivated. Every individual, every professional has a certain level of motivation. Now, that motivation goes up and down depending on personal and professional reasons, right? The sweet spot here is to be able to manage that expectations and motivation level as time goes by. All right. So you want to find a sweet spot where you can assign everyone to the job they enjoy, right? So you can work on the employee's strengths and weaknesses and focus on only their strengths. All right. So find out what the employee likes to do. I'll be right back right after this. Do not go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of Sweetie Kiwi. I'm still continuing a conversation here about the 9 smart ways to help slow employees work faster. And before I get into number 7, I just want to give a quick shout out to Margaret Parks, Velma, Oklahoma, John Gray in Pryor, Oklahoma, and Marley Moraine in Hall City, Oklahoma. I love that name, Hall City. All right, so Marley, John, and Margaret, all the way from Oklahoma, we love you. Number 7, give regular feedback. All right, if you want to help a slow employee work faster, you want to tell the person, you want to give regular feedback. I'm talking about on a weekly basis. Don't confuse them, don't overwhelm them by giving daily feedback. If needed, go ahead and do it, but I would strongly be against that, because you can give feedback maybe twice a week, maybe on Wednesday and Friday. That could work, right? And you want to have the ability to give that feedback in a positive way. I'm talking about constructive feedback, not always pointing fingers, but you want to be able to see that employee as your ally. All right. Number 8, limit distractions. Sometimes employees, believe it or not, sometimes employees are slow because they have too many distractions going on. I'm talking about, it could be electronic distractions, social media, Facebook, Twitter, you name it, YouTube, right? Or you have emails. Some employees are spending a lot of time. They spend the whole day answering emails and can't get their job done. They just realize that it's already 4 p.m. and they have to go home, but that's when they start working on their tasks. And the Lord knows that when you work that long and it's already 4 o'clock or 4:30 p.m., your energy level is going down, so you're not going to be productive as you would have been early in the morning, right? So and distraction could also be meetings. Believe it or not, some companies spend a lot of time some teams spend a lot of time in meetings, and nobody has the time really to do their job, and they only do this after 4 or 5:30 p.m. So I'm just giving you a series of potential distractions you have to think about and evaluate how those distractions are impacting your employees' productivity. Number 9, the last but not the least, you want to assign tasks with clear priorities and deadlines, right? You want to categorize the tasks, but you want to be very specific. Again, I believe that mental clarity is important when it comes to productivity. If your employees knows exactly what is expected of them, chances are they will actually try to do their best. Now, if they can't measure up to the kind of performance that you are expecting them to deliver, then that's another issue here. But you want to be able to be clear with the priorities and the deadlines. In business, in business management, there is an interesting topic called accountability loop that deals with that kind of stuff. So you want to tier the task you are given to your employees. You want to make sure they agree to the deliverables, they agree to the goals that you are pursuing. You want to prioritize those tasks, and you want to set a time. Now, another concept that's very important is something called SMART. This is a strategic management, a SMART goal. You want to set SMART goals, SMART, specific, measurable, right, attainable, realistic, and timely. So by setting SMART goals with clear priorities and deadlines for your employee, chances are he or she might start coming back on track, and this is what you need. All right? Okay, sounds good. Here's a recap. We're probably going to wrap up to this conversation now. Here's a recap. So 9 smart ways to help slow employees work faster. Number 1, review the employee's job description and education and skill level. Number 2, figure out why the employee is slow. Number 3, reshuffle staff positions if needed or give the proper training. Number 4, seek feedback from the whole team. Number 5, team up with the employee. Number 6, find out what the employee likes to do. Number 7, give regular feedback. Number 8, limit distractions. And number 9, assign tasks with clear priorities and deadlines. I will see you next time, and until then, stay productive and marvelous.